What's good? What's good, everybody? Welcome back to another episode of The Urban Platform Speaks. Make sure to like and subscribe as you tune into the channel and check out the content. And with that being said, man, I want to speak on a recent uh, interview that I saw with Don Stanley, and she was talking about possibly, what she was speaking about when she interviewed for the New York Knicks head basketball coaching job, right? And I want to comment on what she said, and then on top of that, I want to comment on what Steve Kim said about her possibly getting that job as a New York Knicks head coach. So let me see what I got here going on though. Get this straight first. Um, okay, let me wait a minute. What I did here. All right. Okay, let me now Steve Kim is like he's a guest host on the Jason Whitlock show, right? And so I'm gonna play the audio of what Steve Kim said about Don Stanley being a coach, and then I'm gonna come back and I'm gonna give my reaction to what Steve Kim said.
The head coach of the New York Knicks. She was under some brief consideration. I think had a conversation with them. Let's hear from Don Staley.
Go ahead. So would you ever seriously take an NBA job?
Would I seriously like I interviewed for the Knicks. I did. It was the same interview that everybody else that was in their candidate pool. Same thing. Went in. I mean, it was like hours, but in the interview, I thought I did pretty well. I was well prepared for the interview, right? If the Knicks would have offered me the job, I would have had to do it. Okay. Not just for me, it's for women, for just to break open that I would have to, and it's the New York Knicks. And I'm from Philly, but it's the freaking New York Knicks. And I did say that in the interview. Like, I actually said it. Y'all don't have to
I
censor
mean,
it
you
out,
could
but I
say it.
actually
We
said it.
got creative control of it. We
Right.
can bleep you out.
But I did. I was like, it's freaking New York Knicks. Like, yes. Would I take any NBA job? No. But I will say this. The NBA has to be.
All right, let me say that right. Say this right, because I know a lot of times, like when a male coach, if he's waiting on an NBA job, he's going to take whatever job comes available in most cases, right? Unless you, especially if you are a coach who has never had an opportunity to coach at that level. If you get the opportunity to coach the Washington Wizards, you know you're going to take that opportunity. I know you want to. Most people would want to go somewhere where they think they can be successful, where the ownership is invested in winning. Like you want to go to the Celtics, you want to go to the Lakers, or Miami or something like that, where the ownership and management is invested in winning, right? But those opportunities don't always come up. Like, sometimes a coach, he will have to take what's available, and that might be the Washington Wizards, it might be the Detroit Pistons, or one of the teams that they're not, like at the top of the league. So I don't get it, like what she said, well, she wouldn't just take any job, and I think, I don't know, I want to really get into it, but I just think like entitlement, like you just have to take like what's available to you. Now, uh and the reason why I say you have to take what's available to you, because you may not get a second chance at coaching. I know it'll be an uphill battle, and that's how most coaches would look at it. It's going to be an uphill battle, but and the chances of you being able to turn around certain franchises are probably slim to none. But you still have to take that opportunity. You don't know if that'll. In a lot of cases, you only get one bite at the apple. So if you never had a job in the NBA, then this is the thinking of most male coaches. Like if you've never had a job in the NBA, you're gonna take that job because you don't know if you may get this offer again. So right there, I don't agree with Don Stanley. But the Knicks, and then on top of that, the Knicks right now, the Knicks they haven't won a championship since the 70s. They had some good years when Patrick Ewing was there, Pat Riley and all those. They had some good years then. But they haven't been like a storied franchise like the Lakers or the Celtics, So but that's she entitled to feel the way she want to feel.
For a female head coach. You can't just interview somebody and say we're gonna hire her. Because here's the thing, because I think I probably lost the job by asking this question, or I had a series of questions that I asked them. One was for who they were looking for why I was in the candidate pool, right? If I was so attractive, I said, has the New York Knicks organization in its history ever had what you're looking for? They wanted a team. They wanted the inclusiveness with management and the coaches, and everyone wanted to feel like a team, a closely knit franchise.
Steve.
All right, before Steve Kim comment, like I said, the New York Knicks franchise has had a lot of lean years. So I mean, it's not wrong of them to ask if they think she could provide that type of atmosphere, if she can come in and change the culture. So if she's asking them, like, if y'all never had this culture, is it wrong for you to expect me to give that to you? I don't think the New York Knicks, I don't think they're wrong for asking her to be able to come in and change the culture. That may be why they get, they need a new coach because they want to change the culture. So if she comes to the interview and say, well, have y'all ever had that? I don't know how that goes over, right? But I think she didn't get the job for other reasons besides her asking that question. But here comes Steve Kim and his take on what she said.
For women,
yeah.
Why isn't elevating women's basketball to the high? Why isn't that doing it for women? And what qualifications does she have for coaching men? I farcical to me, the whole thing.
And by the way, it's the New York Knicks, right? Wasn't their last world championship in 1973?
Yes,
it's the Knicks. Yeah, so much winning tradition there, right? Great leadership with my only wish is if it would have came true, Jason, my only wish is that the team would have had Charles Oakley and Anthony Mason and Patrick Ewing on it. That would have been great. But what was this going to be, the real life Eddie? Remember that movie where Whoopi Goldberg became the coach of the Knicks?
Yeah.
I was like, that seems more realistic than that. Can we say this again? I know we've talked about this. There is no male athlete worth their salt at that level that wants to be coached by a woman. They may not say it publicly. They may not be allowed to say it, but in the back of their minds, they're saying, please don't let it be us.
Hold for 1 second. Are you sure about that?
Yes.
Are you sure that there are some men out there that are like, hey, man, we could run over her. We wouldn't have to listen. I could control her. LeBron James might love to play for Don Staley because she'd be afraid to do anything that he didn't approve.
Okay, well, that's different, though. He has been the alpha male or the face of the organization. Everyone else is just a faceless guy. Honestly, no one has that leverage. Maybe that's the one guy. It sounds good in theory that, hey, we don't care who leads us. Until she's screeching at your belly button after a timeout for not boxing out or rotating on defense. And next thing you know, you're like, I don't want to listen to her. We played the same game, but it's a different sport. It's the truth. For anyone that says basketball's basketball, no, it's not. There's a difference.
And it all depends. Now, again, some of these guys don't want to be coached. They want a laissez-faire atmosphere and environment. But Don Staley bringing her little dog to practices like she does the women's practice and letting her little dog run around and do whatever, I just don't think it would hit the same.
All right. So Steve Kim says that he don't think that that men won't want to be coached by a female, right? So my opinion, I'm gonna push back a little bit on that. And only because I think if management wanted to bring in a female coach, it really wouldn't be up to the players. It would be up to management. And that's just like when Branch Rickey decided to bring up what's the Jackie Robinson from the Negro Leagues to Major League Baseball. Branch Rickey didn't clear that with the players. Branch Rickey decided to bring Jackie Robinson up from the Negro Leagues to Major League Baseball. And if he did check with the players, anybody who said no, that they didn't want to play with him, he would have did it anyway. So I think, in my opinion, I think that if men like Gino Oriama can coach females, then I think it can work the other way around. Especially when you talk about like from a X's and O's standpoint, like women know and understand the game just as well as men do, right? So I think it's probably going to happen. I don't think it will happen with Dawn Staley. I don't think that she. Yeah, I think she know the game. I don't think it'll happen with her, but I do think it'll happen with someone like Becky Hammond. Like Becky Hammond has NBA experience as a coach. She was a head coach of the G League. She was on the San Antonio Spurs bench for a long time, and so she probably could garner the kind of respect that it would take for a woman to be able to coach in the NBA. And then on top of that, once somebody like Becky Hammond get that job, then they will have to have the support of the ownership and management. So and then and I'm sure that once a female coach get that kind of job, that there'll probably be some guys who don't want to play for her, who do push back. But they probably won't allow them to. They'll just get rid of them. Just like if you bring a player onto the team that somebody is not in agreement with, you either agree with it or you move on. What was the guy name who was at Cleveland before LeBron James got there? I think his name was Ricky. Ricky, I forgot his name right. But he says before LeBron James got there, he was like, we not following no rookie. Ain't no rookie going to lead us nowhere. And what they do, they wind up getting rid of them. And then that's all they'll do. You basically, you probably will have to get rid of one or two players that everybody else will fall in line. So if ownership and management wanted it to happen, if they wanted Dawn Stanley to be the head coach of the New York Knicks and they decided to support her no matter what, she would be able to do it. And those guys will fall in line because they understand that she knows the game just as well as the men do. And that's all that would count. But I do think that a woman eventually you'll have a female head coach in the NBA. I'm not sure how soon, but it'll probably happen eventually. And so that's my take on it. Let me know how you think. What do you think about it? Do you think that Dawn Stanley or any other woman will be able to get a head coaching job in the NBA? I just think there's a double standard. Men are allowed to coach women at the professional level, so I think that women should be allowed to coach men. And if they're not allowed to coach, then just go ahead and separate the two leagues altogether. Like don't have men coaching women at the professional level if you can't do the same, because then I just don't think it's fair. So that's my take on it. Make sure you like and subscribe to the channel. Also, don't forget to leave a comment, and I will check you all out in the next video. Peace.